Welcome back to our second episode about music and how it can give us a better life. In last episode, we visited the drummers from Casa de Música Bonaire.
Hey, hello from Bonaire.
Hello from Bonaire.
And saw how music can help us connect with other people. We visited Professor Morten Kringelbach at Oxford University and discovered how music can keep our brains filled with anticipation for every new beat, making music an endless source of pleasure. Now, as we continue our exploration of music, we find yet another way that music can impact a very central aspect of our life, our ability and urge to be successful. We also get a scientific trick on how to write groovy music that will make you move that body. After years of preparation, we have left behind the safety of our jobs, apartments, social security and solid ground, and embarked on a 3-year sailing trip around the world in search of the good life.
Hello and good morning.
We want to meet people, visit places, and explore the science behind what a good life is and what we can do ourselves to have a good life. All this at the comfortable speed of 10 kilometers an hour. Please join us as we explore life. After a brief big city stop in Cartagena, Colombia, we have moved on to the many small and beautiful islands of San Blas in Panama. Despite the very limited space on board our boat Marco, we did succeed in finding space for an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar, a ukulele, claves, and a piano. Even though the many instruments take up a lot of space, and we honestly can't play them all that well, we are still very happy to have them on board. They're a great way to connect both on board our boat, but also with people we meet on our way, just as we talked about in the last episode. But there's also another and even more important reason why we have them on board. It's simply to help our brains take a break and relax, and especially Storm's brain. It constantly creates new thoughts, feelings, and ideas, or as Storm says, it makes a lot of noise. The best way to stop the noise and get some rest is to divert his brain's attention with other sounds, like listening to podcasts and music, or even better, playing music. It works excellent and makes his brain focus on playing the music correctly as well as feeling the vibe. According to Professor Morten Kringelbach from Oxford University, the ability of music to give our minds a rest can help us escape what he refers to as the tragic miracle of consciousness.
Music is a very important part of the life we're lived. It pulls us away from what I call the tragic miracle of consciousness. And this is a phrase that the novelist and Nobel Prize winner John Steinbeck came up with. This idea that we're constantly thinking about things that we can't change or things that may never come to pass. And we forget to enjoy this very moment where we are here together now. If we don't allow ourselves to really enjoy the things that are here, why they're here, then what kind of life is it? And the beautiful thing about music, of course, is that when the music is playing, people are dancing, people are happy, we forget.
But why are we so focused on the future instead of enjoying the present moment?
One of the reasons why we are unwilling or unable to enjoy the good things is that we have this certainty. We know that at some point it's all going to be over. And the very thing that makes us so successful, and what we learn throughout our childhood, is that you've got to predict what is happening next. You have got to make sure you have enough now so that you are able to survive the next winter. And so we learn to hone those skills of predicting, so much so that we tend to focus so much on the negative and on these things that have happened in the past to make sure they never happen again, that I think that is part of why it is that we forget to really enjoy when things are going well.
Our brain's ability to use negative experiences to predict and avoid future reoccurrences is an important strength to have to increase our survival. However, it's also a bit of a weakness, since it can make us forget to enjoy our own success. This is where music can give us a much needed space to forget the troubles, recharge, and focus a bit on the positive, something that Tito, the creator of Casa de Música Bonaire, knows all about.
When I play music, I don't feel hungry. I don't feel dusty. I don't feel nothing. It's like in a trance. I feel happy.
When I'm down, I play. It just like, it let me feel better.
So when you feel stressed or you in a rush or you just mad, put the music in my ear, relax. It calms me.
On our trip around the world, when the waves grow huge and our boat seems smaller than ever, playing music has been a wonderful way to keep things calm. Being able to play the guitar has also done wonders for Storm. Optimally, he would have preferred the drums, since you get the extra benefit of it being physically hard. But we decided that it might be better to leave at least a little space for things that are just a little more important, like water and food. Now, as promised, what is it that makes certain kinds of music stimulate our brain to such a degree that we just can't help moving our body?
I have been studying music for the way that it plays with our predictions. And one of the best ways of looking at that is how it makes us dance. What is it about groovy music that basically makes us want to move our bodies? What is it about this difference between the meter, so the dum, 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 and the kind of syncopation that goes on top of that? And how is it that the two of them, eventually, if it's well done, will make you want to dance? That's what I've been interested in. That's what I've been scanning people's brains. That's why I've had them strapped up with Wii controllers to see how they're moving their bodies to things that are either not particularly groovy, too complex to be groovy, or just right.
The first of the 3 types of beats they tested was very simple and with very little syncopation.
You can hear the meter, dum, 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 and then you hear the...
First one is very much on beat.
It's very much on beat, and it doesn't really make you want to dance. You could probably do it with a handbag, but that's about it, right? So what then happens if you add a little bit of spice, if you move that syncopation away from the meter, so you get something like this?
It's much more funky, yes.
And you kind of feel that you really should be moving to that, right? So if a little is okay, and a little bit more is much better, what about if you added a lot of syncopation? It's kind of hard to find.
Too much.
Yeah, it's kind of too unpredictable. It's no longer sweet, right? It's more kind of unpredictable.
Syncopation is great for keeping our brains interested, but it needs to be added in just the right amount.
And understanding that in the brain is really where we're coming from. There's a whole science there and a great kind of mathematics, the mathematics of groove.
The power of syncopation in just the right amount is easily felt when listening to the drummers from Bonaire as they, step by step, assemble the different drum sections. Now, with all modern studies on music, I had one burning question.
So, any good advice for creating music if I want to write a big hit?
Wouldn't that be great to have a
Do you have
hit
a
machine?
formula?
Well, if I had, I wouldn't tell you right now.
No, of course.
Well, of course, syncopation is important, but there is more to music than that. So no easy trick to write a big hit. Music can affect our life in many ways, and clearly means a lot to just about every single person we have met on our way.
There's music for anything, like any type of feeling that you're feeling.
So I feel good, I feel like I want to dance.
With music, you can't go wrong.
Music is like universal, and it doesn't matter what language it is or where it came from.
Music makes me happy.
Music is great for giving your brain that little break it needs from all its hard work with keeping you alive and successful. It's great for improving your time with others, but also great for improving the time you have with yourself, especially if you challenge your brain and play the music yourself.
The key trick, if you like, when it comes to enjoying music is to maybe take those headphones and throw them somewhere and actually start making music with other people. Not just listen to other people's music, but have the confidence to sing. Sing to your baby, sing to your friends, sing with them, play instruments with them, go to gigs, dance with them. Use other people when you make music to really feel the full potential of what music is.
For sure, I got a good advice. So I will say, if you don't have never played music, just start, just try it, and you will see. You maybe like it.